Bosco Gumbo, we started this mission in 2006.
In the beginning, there was next to nothing in our area. This is the other side of the river.
And this village was actually a kind of a God-forsaken place, a desert area where people were scared to come because of there is a dreaded rebel group from Uganda. Joseph Kony was actually keeping this place as his training ground for his rebels. No? And they were also very ruthless. They were coming and fighting with the people, stealing and killing and mutilating people. National Army and even from Khartoum, they were trying to push them out from here. When we were coming for mass here, we used to get hardly 5 or 6 people. There was a small primary school which was running under the trees. Very few children were coming.
There has been so much development here, where a school, a parish, and a health center have been built. People have started to gather here. Various works have been created within our place. It is certainly not a small area. It measures 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. You can have a look at the plot here on Google Maps.
So from just 4 houses, within 10 years, the number has increased into 20,000.
South Sudan is a rather young country, young in the sense of its status as an independent nation.
Until then, we were together. Sudan and South Sudan, it was one country.
It all started in the year 2011. After several years of war between Arabs and Christians, after huge devastation, finally the country regained its independence in 2011. And as ever, independence was a cause of great joy. All the people were energized, sharing plans and dreams.
But unfortunately, in 2013, after 2 years of independence, we had the first civil war.
But a large number of people had been driven out from their homes just because they belonged to one tribe or another. Many of them were killed and many others had been displaced and scattered to various locations.
And the time when the war started, they took my father and my father, they went to Malacan, they start fighting there. The time when we are inside with my mother's house, some people, they come with the guns, they want to shoot at with my mother. Then my mother say, you leave my children. You leave us. You see, you kill our father and again you need to kill us. You just leave. They are young, they don't know anything. Then another person say, okay, it's not a problem, you can go. Then we run and they shoot our house. Everything, they shoot them and they burn our house.
So during the war, our father was taken to the front line. Then he was wounded. After that, he was brought to Juba here in the military hospital.
Then my mother said to us, let us go to Juba.
That time, my mom came also, and all of us, we came together. When we were in the hospital and we have no place to stay.
Even we cannot get anything to eat. My mother born us, we are 8. No person can help us.
My father said that we should go because my father is a soldier. Since the war broke up, all those soldiers break our house where we stay, our area. So we got no place again to stay.
I arrived due to the war that broke in Malacan. We just came here on our own. We are trying to escape the war, to lose one of my elder brother.
Most of them, the husband died, and also most of them, their husband were wounded. They cannot able to take care of their children and what. Because they are not capable of work.
And one image which stuck my mind and it has never gone out of my mind is I found a young child, maybe 6 years or 5 years old young girl coming with a plate in her hand, half-eaten food. And that half-eaten food is that she was taking the food, but that is the time the shooting started and everybody was running. So she could not leave the food behind, so she carried only that one. She carried that food and she crying, she was coming into the compound. That image has not gone out of my mind even today. They came to search for a secure place, an asylum in our place. So like that we had around 3,000 people coming to ask for accommodation and facility to stay with us.
There are many people who come because of war, and they take us up to there in secondary, we sleep there.
So those people who were displaced and those who were around here, they came from many places actually.
Action had to be taken. Basic humanitarian aid was needed to assist these people.
So they decided to take us from here and there. There's an open place there where we are now in.
And they built for us houses there.
We thought maybe for a short time we keep them there, then once the situation settles down, we can send them home. In 2016, there was also another bigger civil unrest broke out in Juba. It spread across the country, everywhere. And that single day when it happened, that was on 7th of July, 2016. When that same day, when the shooting was taking place all around, people were rushing into our compound. Many of these families, the children were lost like that because everybody was running. So next day, when everybody got up from different places, they were looking for the family, looking for the babies. Since providentially everybody was within the compound, within short time they managed to find the members. But those who are coming from far, some of them come even from the city there, and they lost some of their family members. Lost means some were killed, but some others were not killed, but they were just lost on the way as they were rushing and running. And it took almost a month or so for some of them to really identify and get, because there were many different church compounds and other places they went. So then slowly people, those who were coming here and staying here, so that night we had over 30,000 people in our compound. So we opened the gate, the church was full with people, primary school and even secondary school. Wherever we had space, even our residents, all the space we had, even the veranda in front of our rooms, the veranda everywhere. After 10, 15, 20 days, they moved out into their own houses, but still we had over 15,000 people staying with us because they did not have any house. Some areas their houses were completely destroyed, many people in the house were killed, so they did not have anywhere to go to.
The reason why we end up to be in the camp, that's because of war of 2013. There's a war that broke up there, here in Juba.
Yeah, the whole family were all here. But at first we left my father there, and I came with my mother and the rest of my brothers and sisters. We left him there because we scattered ourselves. He ran in different direction and we went in different directions.
So then my mom came and she was given a card from that time. Then she went back to us there and she informed us that there is a place that I got where people are being registered. My mom came here and she was given a carpet and she constructed a small house when we were there. After that, when my father became okay, then all of us, we came here.
This is new part, no? So you can see that big tree there. From that tree down is our 2013 old camp. From there up to the end of this one is 2016.
We established a refugee camp, and due to the large number of people who had been there from the beginning, we looked for the best way to support them.
What we do is actually, for all those registered families, we give them regular food ration, and the children who are studying in the school also, we give them a midday meal when they are in the school, and their children are in the school here, both primary, secondary and VTC. Wherever the kids are able to study, we give them a place. For the people in the camp, we also take care of their health and hygiene with our health center here. Whatever possible medical intervention we can do, we help them.
Many people can get sick, but they can come here in this one, Don Bosco here in hospital.
Whenever we are giving this regular ration and regular medical assistance for the camp people, our own people from the parish, they come and complain sometimes. He says, Father, you are taking care of the IDPs. The people who are coming from far away, from other states, you take care of them. But we are also your children. We are just next door to you and next under your nose, but we are suffering and we don't get any support like that. So that pained us also a little bit. So that is why whenever we get some assistance, we also reach out to them, especially during the time of Christmas, Easter and things, because we cannot provide them regularly anything. Government knows that Don Bosco is running a camp and they are happy about it. We are taking care of the people, but they don't provide anything for sustenance of these people. Beans is getting ready here. Tomato you are not putting inside here.
People spend half their lives living in tents. And the tents, you can see, are very close together. You can see that there's no privacy here.
I'm sleeping inside here.
And how many of you are there?
We are something like 4. That's my younger brother. Yeah, this is my mother. My mother is sleeping there.
Your mother
with all my sisters.
This tree is actually kind of our meeting place and things, no? Yes. Sometimes we come for saying the rosary. They gather all the children around in the tree and we pray the rosary here.
This food is not enough. Big. So most of them decided to go outside.
In the morning, he can go there and bring firewood and he'll sell out and we can buy something for us.
The town is very difficult to get job and get money. Even if you work hard, but still you get less food for your kids.
In some cases, people don't have enough money to build and make their own places to stay or to buy the land.
That is moringa, okay? They are planting moringa.
The neighbors, they are okay, there is no problem. The only problem at time when they take alcohol, that's when they become drunk.
They come with the food, they sell the food outside and get the money for drinking.
We are in need of look for other place because this place here is not comfortable with us. Because this plastic sheet here, sometime at the daytime, to make you not even to feel comfortable with it. When the time when the sun will come too hot, you may not even be able to stay inside there because the temperature may be high.
I think they prefer to go back to their own places.
I'm happy now because the time when we was in primary 1, we don't have uniform, we don't have food. So now they can cook for us for sure. We can eat, and they bring for us school uniform, and the distribution for us books. They can give us books. They can give us school bags. I cannot believe maybe I will be in school. I cannot believe maybe I will be alive.
Because they have nothing in their hands to go and do their life there.
We cannot force the people out now and get killed in the village back there. This is our kind of a hope that if the situation improves and if these people, as I told, after the revitalized peace agreement, they come together, they decide to bring peace, only when the security comes back to the village, people will go back.
Often there are people who have been deeply wounded in so many ways because of the history of this place, because of their family background. These are families broken up by war and for no other reason. Many of these children simply do not know where their parents are. They know that their father fled to Ethiopia, but they do not know anything else about him. They hope that he is still alive, but even that is in no way certain. These children have seen so many horrible things, and they prefer not to talk about it, especially when it comes to killings and displacements, when it comes to other trauma related to the war. They consider it better to leave all things unsaid, and so they carry within them that heavy burden in silence. All that pain remains inside them.
To w nich pozostaje.
In my future, I want to be a doctor because I want to help some people. So that I want to tell some people so that they cannot remember the things that happened to them.
So we are actually giving them a kind of common identity, we tell them, learn to identify yourself as South Sudanese. That South Sudan is our identity. Our country requires that kind of a common identity where we can stand together and say, the one who is standing next to me, whether it's from same tribe or whatever, but he is a South Sudanese, he or she is my brother or my sister. That kind of that feeling, that is what we are trying to promote in the school, and that is exactly what we are promoting even in our camp. We have 18 different tribes staying in the camp. Commonly here in South Sudan, people trust the church compound and the church. Even those people, those who are fighting, even the civil unrest, everyone has got a respect towards the church.
People are not well that fair with one another. People are just mistreating each other and others are segregating themselves. People join one side and fight one tribe. It is practically a fight between two tribes.
All this armed conflict started because of differences between people here. But even if these differences exist, we want people here to learn to live together, despite their differences, despite their cultural differences, despite their different traditions, despite different kinds of dress or dance. We want them to learn to live together.
Because the church has not taken sides in anything, and the church is not going to take any sides with anyone. But church is always with the poor and with the people. So that way they know that if they come to the compound of the church, they are safeguarded. And normally police or armed soldiers won't come into the church compound to attack anyone. People found coming to the church compound is the only thing that can save their life.
We lead educational projects, some by ourselves and others in cooperation with the Salesian sisters. We operate 2 primary schools and 2 kindergartens. There is also a secondary school and a technical school.
The school we started 2013 after the conflict of South Sudan. We have 2,000 people and we start 2 sections. One in the morning and another one afternoon.
The school day begins with solemn prayer and then the singing of the South Sudan national anthem. Then classes begin.
Normally now we are using 2 classes in the hall. We have nursery 1A and nursery B. We used to make partition with the chairs. We put the chairs in the middle to make partition between this and that one. And as you see the class here, we have almost 128 pupils in the class. Every bench is supposed to be 3 people, 3 students. But at least now, 4 pupils in the bench.
Po południu
Between 11 a.m. and 12 noon is the lunch break.
obiadowa.
Now when we are going for the break, you can ring. This one is called break time. Here we have a kitchen.
We can take the lunch, we can eat, and we go home.
This is the place where the food has been prepared. All will be prepared here. We have cooks doing here, and we have the milk.
And those one who are in lower class, like nursery, they're getting milk. They are not paying for the food.
Here we have like around 10 workers who are doing all that work.
we can have a look here. The system in South Sudan is that the arts and science students, the classes are always usually combined. So on a day like this, when it's mathematics, they all come together. Otherwise, one class is here, the other one is there. As you see, the spacing is quite. Hi guys. Okay, good. All right. So all the best. Yeah. We have many students who want to come to the school. Like when we are admitting in first year, you find those who come up to 800, but we can only take 100 students. And we send the 700 back, not because they're not able to, but we don't have space. Because normally class should have 40 students, but we are forced to have 60, 70. So definitely space is a need in the future. We use the trees under for study because we don't have a library where all the students can be. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, continue. So this is senior 1A, a similar situation. So you see, the lower classes we have basically 3 students on a desk.
We conducted a year-long needs analysis project in all African countries to determine what skills were most in demand on the job market. What trades were most in demand? Construction workers were very high on the list. And so we opened a new department in our trade school, which opened last year. Until recently, water was distributed here in barrels. Now, first-year students learn to do general plumbing, especially for domestic use. In second year, they learn other skills like how to drill a borehole, how to check these boreholes and do maintenance on water pumps, how to test water quality, and how a water treatment plant works. This project you see here was completed in 3 days, and everything works just fine. Water is connected, the flush toilet works, everything is working. And here there will be 6 water faucets that will be manually operated there on the inside. In this area, it is not possible to connect the water pipes to the houses because there are no permanent houses. As a result, the main pipes will be installed and they will distribute purified drinking water to all the people in this entire area. Of course, all of this is being built by our students. Next is the metalworks and welding department. These benches are being made for a project in Poland. They are made of metal and mahogany. They're very, very durable. All of these benches will be used in a school that is under construction. Our needs analysis identified electricians as the second most sought after trade. A lot of students are enrolled in the electrical and automotive programs. They begin here, and then with all the practical experience they gain here, they move on to university. Students here acquire hands-on practical experience. They learn how to make various electrical connections and how to wire electrical panels. This is our automotive shop. People bring their cars here to be serviced. Students learn basic skills by working on model cars. This model was imported from India. And the students themselves just recently assembled it. Last year, I introduced a system that comes from the United States. It's called the Cisco system. We use Cisco as part of a course to teach networking. Cisco networking.
In the morning they are 217, but in the afternoon are more than 300. This girl never went to school. They bring from the village, so here is the primary school. So we have prepared a special program for them for 4 years, and every year they do 2 classes. So in 4 years they will finish primary. But apart from primary, they have practical for catering, bean cooking, for dressmaking and for agriculture. So when they finish primary, they have also practical in their hands.
Since my family is now suffering, I have to do something to help my family. Because for me, I know I can play football very well. That's my first thing. So I have to make sure I play very well and help my family. Secondly, if there's any chance for me, I want to study medicine and be a doctor. I think this country is not safe. There will be no chance maybe for taking to interview you as a footballer to go and try something.
My future plan, I need to become an engineer, mechanical engineer.
Where we started with that one single mass with 4 or 5 people. Now we have 3 masses.
Each of these masses is celebrated in a different language. The first is in the Bari language, the second in Arabic, and the third in English.
All the 3 masses, the church is full, and sometimes even people are outside.
Yeah.
Plus we have 6 substations, and all these substations we have masses also. Every Sunday we have around 9 masses we celebrate. 3 here and another 6 in different substations.
When it comes to parish involvement, different groups are responsible for different ministries. Each choir is different and is responsible for doing something. And all the groups support each other. There are many women involved in the Legion of Mary, and there are altar boys too. And the girls who are members of the Pontifical Mission Society sing and dance. Actually, these groups make up the core of the parish. They're responsible for organizing all parish events, so to speak. As a result, there are various customs, various songs, various musical styles. As you can see, the Arabic choir uses many musical instruments, including electronic ones. Unfortunately, since there's no electricity in this village, it's not possible to use them. And so they use more traditional instruments like drums. We pay special attention here to all the feast days of the Virgin Mary, trying to make them special in some way. Shorter processions take place within our compound, or longer processions that wind through the streets, so we can meet the local people where they live and encourage them to pray.
Madang Maria, jure ku gracia, monye konu, dona gloria kidena washe, sikia gloria toro peleno Yesu. Salini aji, magel kuba, ya umi Maria, ya
So on Saturdays, we have no youth center in the evening. So we allow them to play in the morning.
In weekends, we used to come to play basketball.
But also it's good for them to rest their bodies a bit. But they don't rest. You see, like these boys, they'll just take the ball and shift.
Volunteers are always very much needed and appreciated here, given our circumstances. The reason we come here as volunteers is to help these missionaries, to support them in their work, and in everything they're doing here already. I teach here in the technical school, in the computer department. Mostly when something breaks, I go and I try to fix it. When I came here as a volunteer, I expected to work with little children, but then I was asked to work in the secondary school. So I wouldn't really call my students children, they're young people. The dry season is starting now, and that means lots of fires breaking out all over. And so the schools had to be protected somehow from these fires. We used the tractor to dig trenches around the schools that would provide a barrier to prevent any fire from spreading there. Yes, it's fair to say that I am really glad to be here. I'm happy. No, I wouldn't trade my time here for anything. There are fewer opportunities here than in other countries for young people to attend big events in a stadium where they can dance and enjoy themselves. Here, that is just not possible for so many reasons. The social events that we create here are occasions for our young people to decompress just a little, to spend time doing something different, something fun, taking a break from their studies. Despite the difficult conditions in the refugee camp, the people here have a tremendous capacity to be joyful. I admire their strength and their enthusiasm. In Gumbo, we, as the Don Bosco Salesian Missionary Foundation, have built 4 classrooms for primary school children. We provide daily meals and essential school supplies for them, and we offer a supervised playground. We have also improved conditions inside the camp, repairing tents, delivering medicine to the clinic, and food packages to the camp residents. All of this was made possible through the generous support of Polish aid. With your support, we want to continue helping the poor and those in need be part of something positive. Support us and share with us together in our mission.